Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? It's just an artist checking in again, and today I am going to look at a few pieces of property. We are finishing up a couple other projects, so it's time to start looking for our next deals. So I wanted to kind of show y'all that, and then also I figured on the drive over I would go ahead and talk about a few things. But before I do all that, I just wanted to reach out to all of y'all and to say thank you for all the support. On the past couple videos I've been posting, I've gotten a lot of views and gotten almost 200 subscribers now excuse me, and like 6,000 or 7,000 views, so that's very encouraging. I'm glad that y'all like the content. So that's kind of the purpose of this channel. I want to just provide free content of what I'm doing and how you can do the same thing. I don't want to be trying to sell y'all a bunch of things. I hate watching videos where every 30 seconds they're trying to sell you a t-shirt or some monthly subscription or some class that they designed or whatever. So I want to just keep it to just free content for all you guys, so you can learn and hopefully do the same things and achieve financial freedom, right? That's the whole point of this channel. The whole renting freedom is the whole idea behind that. So if you like the content, please like and subscribe and comment. That does help out the channel, and it definitely means a lot to me, so I appreciate that. All right, so a quick update for the 3 acres that we have bought, and y'all saw, I think the last video I posted was us just kind of walking through the land and showing it to you. So that was during the due diligence period when they were doing all the surveys and whatnot, but all that stuff is done. We actually closed on the land like 3 weeks ago, so that video was actually probably from like 5 or 6 weeks ago. So the land is closed. We are currently working with a builder, so we decided on a builder. We have an architect that is designing the home, so at some point I want to kind of go over the floor plan and talk about why we chose the house that we chose and the way we laid it out, because that's all kind of like custom and should be specific to us. And then I'll start showing once they actually start clearing the land. So we met with the guy that's going to be clearing the land last week, so they should be starting to do that soon with like the tree protections around all the oaks and the silt fence around the property, and then just tearing out all the pines and whatnot. So I'll make sure to get some footage of that. So for this video specifically, I wanted to kind of talk about what we are doing with our properties. This is probably different from what you'll see on YouTube. If you type in real estate investing and all the guys that pop up and tell you, hey, this is how you do it. That's kind of what we have been doing, but now we are looking to pay off some of our mortgages actually. So we currently have 11 properties out here in Charleston. My wife and I and kids live in one, my mom lives in one, and then we got the 3 acres that we're developing for our future custom home, and then all the other ones are rented out. And so what we have 5 mortgages now. So we were kind of right at a critical point that we kind of realized where our latest projects that we just are finishing up now. So we bought them, we renovated them, added value, and as you know, like that, I think that's the most important part of real estate investing. You go look at some of my past videos and I'll talk about all the different ways that you can invest in real estate. But so we kind of went through the whole BRRRR process, and now we're at the point where we'd go and refinance, get more mortgages, and then use that capital to then go buy more properties. So it's kind of what the plan was, but there's kind of what we realized was we're going to get to a critical point to where all of our, because right now with the 5 mortgages, we could, if every tenant stopped paying, we could potentially keep paying all the mortgages with all of me, my wife, and my mom's income. It'd be pretty tough, but we could do it. But then we're like, man, if we go get more mortgages, now we're definitely not going to do that. If worst case, everyone stops paying, and we're like, man, is that something that we really want to do? Because that's going to cross over to then now we're really relying on our tenants to make sure they pay, which we've had for the most part 0 problems with our tenants now, especially now that we've kind of got better at selecting tenants and whatnot. Like usually everyone's paid by the 5th or 6th, and it hasn't really been an issue. But we were just debating how leveraged that we want to go, because basically, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a couple properties that we have bought years ago that have a lot of equity in them, and we're going to sell those properties and get rid of the mortgages that are on those properties, and then use that money to then pay off some of our newer ones that have mortgages on them. So we're basically going to go from a point of instead of having 5 mortgages and then refinancing our two newest projects and having 7 mortgages, we'll have, X amount of cash flow, 7 mortgages, and a higher return on investment. Instead of doing that, we're actually going to sell 2 of our properties, get rid of those mortgages, use that money to pay off 2 of the other ones, and end up with less homes, basically the same amount of cash flow, but be far less leveraged, but we're going to have less return on investment. So the reason that we decided to do that was just because it's much less risky, and we're getting to the point that now where it's more about cash flow than it really is about return on investment. And overall we have less homes, so that's less tenants that we have to deal with, less things that can go wrong, less things that can break, and that we have to then go and get fixed and whatnot. And what we've kind of learned over the past 3 or so years as we've been having tenants and doing it is that all the theoretical stuff that people say on YouTube, like, yeah, you want to use as much leverage as you can, use other people's money, all that is fine, and that's kind of what we did as we kind of built up. But you're just putting yourself in a pretty risky spot. So we just kind of want to get to a point where we'll have all our homes will be paid off. We'll have less homes, but the same amount of cash flow, and less stress or less kind of overhead on us, and just be more in a comfortable spot and not have to rely on tenants. So that's kind of what we're doing. So I wondered what y'all's thoughts on that. Would y'all want to do the same thing, or would you only be kind of worried about return on investment? I think it's a pretty interesting concept that definitely goes against the grain of what you'll see on YouTube and whatnot. So let me know your opinions on that. Well, then one other thing that I've kind of forgot to mention was, we're always getting new tenants. We always have a house that is being turned over every other couple of months and whatnot. And one thing I've noticed for sure is that whenever we have one of our homes that are paid off, whenever those go empty, it's obviously far less stressful. Whenever we're getting a new tenant, I'm not in a rush. Just taking our time, making sure we're doing all the due diligence on the people applying. And if they don't meet the metrics, we just kind of, decline, whatever, send them the rejection letter. But it's totally different when you have a house that has a mortgage on it, and you got to make that payment coming up next month. You kind of make more excuses for people to then get them into the home, and qualify them. So just because you got that payment coming up, so I feel like that's another benefit of having homes paid off. One, you have to deal with that with less people, but then also you're not stressed about any vacant period. So it's another benefit as well. And then the good thing about that for funding new projects is that we'll have homes that are paid off, so we have a ton of equity in those homes, so we can go to a bank and get a home equity line of credit, and then basically we can become the bank for ourselves. So we won't have to go use hard money lenders anymore, and use their money and then pay them 11% interest these days. We can just get a home equity line of credit, which is going to be far less, maybe 6 or 7% interest, and borrow the money from ourselves, invest that in properties, create value, and then pay ourselves back, and then we have that new asset as well. So that is kind of what we plan to do in the future, so we can get away from using hard money lenders and their high fees. Their fees are crazy these days, and also the higher interest rates. So all around, I think it'll be better. We're not making as much return on investment, but at the end of the day, that's not really our goal. Our goal really is to achieve financial freedom so that we have enough passive income to support our lifestyle. So we're close to that point now. And yeah, it's more so about cash flow for us at this point. So because we don't want to work the 9-to-5 job, and that's kind of the whole point of this. So house is on the market, they're currently under contract, so should be closing here soon next month. So fingers crossed for that. Everything continues to go smoothly, and then we can kind of get all this stuff taken care of and get us in a position that we want to be in. So very exciting. Looking forward to going to see these properties, so I'll make sure to get some video of that so I can kind of show y'all some properties that we're looking at for the future, and then also the development of this new 3 acres we got that we're going to be building our home. So definitely stay tuned. We got some more good content coming, and like I said, if you like the content, please like and subscribe, comment, all that stuff. That does really help out the channel. Appreciate it.